Tigrayan President Werede and TPLF Chairman Debretsion delivered speeches in Central Tigray yesterday, and the message that they delivered was not one message. I would say their speeches were conflicting in some points. What did the two say? Are there any differences between Werede and TPLF leadership? Secondly, Amhara Fano People's Organization has appointed a committee to raise funds abroad. Let's start with this story, which is about AFPO, Amhara Fano People's Organization. Fund collection by Fano supporters abroad has been a source of controversy, source of disputes among Fano groups. Because when 2 years ago Fano group started their armed movement against the Ethiopian government forces, several people launched fundraising campaigns in diaspora. And journalists, activists, politicians in exile, former government officials, Amhara government officials, former government officials who are Amhara, they launched fundraising campaigns. But then they started accusing each other. Reports of embezzlement came out, and fundraising turned into a controversial issue. Now, fund organizations are appointing committees, and they are specifying the individuals who can raise funds abroad for Fano organizations. AFPO, Amhara Fano People's Organization, has made an announcement, and it has appointed a man to collect funds abroad on behalf of AFPO. His name is Gizaccio Bellate. AFPO leaders, through a video message, have announced that those who support Fano, those who support Amhara Fano People's Organization, those who support Skandar Naga's AFPO, Mekatao's AFPO, they should deposit their funds to the accounts which are going to be announced by Gizaccio Bellate. So if anyone other than Gizaccio Bellate is raising funds abroad in the name of the AFPO, he is going to he is not going to send this money to AFPO. Fano needs to make this fundraising transparent, because fundraising has created divisions in diaspora too, not just among Fano groups. Now it's back to main news story, which is from Tigray. Tigray leaders delivered speeches on Martyrs' Day and on the commemoration of Operation Alula. Ceremonies organized in different parts of Tigray. One such ceremony was organized in Abergale, Central Tigray. Debretsion Werede and Debretsion made speeches there. By the way, just one quick comment about Operation Alula. I covered Tigray war, so I just want to say a few words about it. People might not like it, but Tigrayan, some Tigrayans say as if Operation Alula led to collapse of ENDF. Operation Alula, launched by TDF, forced ENDF and EDF out of Tigray. When I was covering the war, even then I disagreed with this narrative. Today I disagree with it. I think Ethiopian National Defense Force decided to withdraw from Tigray. Why? Because they were fighting in mountains and in central Tigray, mountains and eastern Tigray. It was difficult to crush Tigray fighters there. The fighters were not in a position to take back Mekelle. EDF, Eritrean Defense Force, wanted the war to continue. It hoped that it will crush Tigray fighters. But ENDF thought it had weakened TPLF considerably. It had weakened TDF considerably. It should withdraw. It started withdrawing. And during withdrawal, ENDF suffered losses. So I still maintain the same position that ENDF and EDF were not pushed out of Tigray before June 2021 because of Operation Alula. I don't agree with that. Anyway, now the speech is delivered by Werede and Debretsion Mikhail. They spoke in Abergale and they warned against any missteps which could lead to war. He did not warn just federal government, he warned Tigray too. He said there should be no provocation, no war initiated from Tigray. Who was he addressing? Was he telling TPLF? Was he telling Tigray military that they should not provoke? They should not ignite a conflict? But he definitely gave this message to Tigray, to groups in Tigray. Yes, he asked federal government to implement Pretoria deal. He said issue of return of displaced persons should be solved too, because if it's not solved, it won't lead to stability. Then he talked about the disgruntled Tigray opposition fighters, TPF fighters. He said only solution is through dialogue. The Tigray fighters in Afar, in southern Tigray, should be engaged. Dialogue can lead to a lasting solution. Force is not a solution. So while Werede is preaching dialogue with TPF, Johannes-led military opened fire at TPF in Wajirat. Everyone saw that now. Though when I reported about that clash, people said, Sajid, you are lying. No clash. You make up stories. Now people confirming that. So Werede's speech was full of restraint, full of maturity. He called for peace, called for dialogue. Did not criticize TPF a lot. He did not criticize Gitacho group a lot. He was very restrained. But when Debretsion spoke, he delivered a very fiery speech. He lashed out at Gitacho and the group. He said, we have removed traitors. Traitors were trying to divide us. We have removed them. But traitors, we have removed them from Tigray. But traitors are still busy. They're conspiring. They're working day and night with the federal government to create divisions in Tigray. So, Debretsion did not mince matters. He was full of criticism in his speech for federal government and Gita Choreda led opposition political group. Did not call for dialogue with TPF. So either it's a good cop, bad cop strategy adopted by Tigray ruling elite, Werede and Debretsion have agreed that one should play a good cop and the other should play a bad cop. Or there are differences between Werede and Debretsion. Both are not on one page about how to solve the challenges, how to overcome the challenges being faced by Tigray. Thanks for watching.